Hey guys, it's Michael checking in. I figured after yesterday's video I should probably do a walk around and drive of my daily driver right there behind me, the 2006 Mercedes-Benz C230. So let me give you a little walk around and we'll go for a little drive and you can see what this car is about.
You've been dreaming about me?
Look across the room. You staring in my eyes.
Do you like what you see?
I ain't even wanna front, girl.
What we have here is a 2006 C-Class C230 powered by a naturally aspirated V6 double overhead cam engine. So the important point to note is that this isn't the compressor model. The compressor model has a supercharger, that's what they call it, compressor with the K. So this is just NA, normal NA. Out of the box, it came new in 2006 with 201 horsepower and around 200 pound-feet of torque as well. I'll show you the dyno chart. Because this car has had a tune, but when we went to the dyno a few years ago, so the car is 6 or 7 years old, and as you know, cars lose horsepower with age. It was running stock at that point 155, which is a big power loss, let's be honest. So it was nice to be able to pay some money and get the air to fuel ratios remapped by Eurocharged Houston. And they got me 11 at the wheels from this naturally aspirated 2.5 liter V6. So that means we're at 166, 167 horsepower and about the same pound-feet of torque. I will say, from the bottom of the range, the car makes good torque. You see the dyno chart? It's flat. That torque curve is pretty flat. So it's good for city driving. The horsepower really doesn't, it's underpowered. The car is I think the car is an underpowered car for being, I think it's 3,400 pounds. That's pretty heavy for 2006. You know, it's a luxury sedan. Even though it's small, it's a good size. It's like the size of a BMW 2 Series, new one. But it's just not producing enough power that I think it should have. Now, if you have the C55 with the V8, well, then that's a different story. But this car could use more power, and that's my complaint. When the power does come, I'm about to show you, is after 4,500 RPM. And that's when the double overhead cam variable valve timing starts to occur, and you'll hear it. You'll hear the change, just like Honda's VTEC. You'll hear the change once we get higher up in the rev range, and that's where your power is. The problem is you have to use the tip, the 6-speed Tiptronic, and it's slow because it's 2006 and it's Mercedes and their transmissions are just kind of slow. What I will give it is that it stays to redline. It will not change up automatically, which is good because that gives you a little bit more control and you want to have control and know what your car is doing. And let's start in first. I'll tip it up and here's second, third. See how long that takes? Leave it high, sitting 5,500 RPM. Listen to it. Here's the variable valve. All right, asking for fourth. There's fourth. It's happy to sit in the high rev range. Like, we're sitting at 5,000 right now, and it's staying in fourth. It's not doing anything I'm not telling it to do. Now, let's see what happens when I shift up to 5. I'm gonna ask for 5. 5, give me 5. There's 5. And the problem with this tip is that right there, is that it wants to be wound out so bad that if you lay off the pedal in the middle of its variable valve timing after four grand, and you shift up, it's not happy. It's gonna wait to rev back below 4 grand before it gives you the gear upshift that you asked for. Now, when you're driving and you bring it to redline every time, it's really happy to change pretty quick after you hit redline like this. So, bring it up to speed, ask for the next gear, and there it is. But you have to wind it out, and I don't always want to have to wind it out. So, I think that's a complaint. What I do like about the car is that whoever was the first owner stocked it pretty nicely. They got the bi-xenon headlights, which give it a lot of value. They didn't spring for the Bose sound system, but I don't think they needed to. The sound system's pretty good. You have the 4 doors, the 2 tweeters, a satellite here on the dash. The one thing it doesn't give you is you get these like speaker grills on the rear deck lid that are just filled with foam, so there are no subs in the back. But it sounds fine to me. I don't think you needed to pay for it. Also, thank you previous owner for installing the iPod hookup. I know it's a $600 option. And so it came with a 30 pin, right? A 30 pin port that I can control through my steering wheel on my cluster, which is great. That's awesome for 2006. But guess what? No one uses 30 pin anymore. So I found a Bluetooth adapter for 30 pin. All right, let's see what 0 to 60 is in this. And we're just gonna count it. All right, 1, Mississippi 2, Mississippi 3, Mississippi 4, Mississippi 5, Mississippi 6, Mississippi 7, Mississippi 8, so 8 seconds. I think out of the box they claimed like 7.2, right around there. I guess it's not that far off. But, and the steering's pretty tight. After all these years, I've changed the front strut towers. What's nice about the sport model, you know, you get the AMG trim so it looks newer. The con to that is that you're scraping everywhere and you don't even have the 8-liter or the V8 engine to show for it. I guess you also get the big Brembo brakes off the C55 as well, which gives you the cross-drilled rotors and the bigger pads up front. I think they're 4-piston, and they're from Brembo, from the factory, which is cool. All right, so we step on it automatic, and you've got an electronic gas pedal that when you step down on it all the way, it realizes, okay, I see you want aggressive driving. I'm gonna give you 3 seconds to get back on the pedal once you let off to keep driving in the high rev range. Otherwise, I'm gonna shift up to a more comfortable gear. So, you know, it's not a sports car, right? This electronic pedal, you really have to mash it in auto for it to lift down. I mean, you have to touch it to the ground. And it'll stay up for a few seconds here. And then once it realizes that you're not going to be doing anything in the higher rev range for a couple seconds, it goes back down. What else? Dual climate control was nice. I'm pretty sure that's stock. No nav, 6 disc, but I don't use that. That broke a long time ago. You know, I changed every single light in the car. These dome lights, the LED tail, everything's LED now. The taillights, that really helped bring the look back or modernize the look of the car. The daytime running lamps went LED, like the footwell lamps, I did everything. Even the glove box over there, I put an LED light in there. So, all in all, it's been a pretty reliable car, I'll say. I've driven it for 4 or 5 years now, and I've taken it from 90,000 miles to, traffic jam over here. I've taken it from 90 to 150,000 miles almost here. And The only issue I had was that the engine bank had a misfire, and that was the weirdest thing. It ended up being that it ate a spark plug, but it took us replacing all the coil packs and figuring out everything else after that. For a long time, we didn't figure it out. But that issue solved. Also, I said earlier that I had to replace the front strut towers, and that's just because it comes with the AMG suspension, which is really stiff. And that's another pro-con situation there too, because, you know, it feels good. Like, this car, I mean, just like any other luxury car in the market, I'd say the steering probably is a little light on center, but there's no play. You know, it's not like an older Mercedes, it's not like the boxes where you've got 1.5 inches of play. And the rack is quick, and the suspension is tight. But then again, it's underpowered, so why am I driving around town hitting potholes and worrying about driveway entrances when I don't even have the power to back that all up to make it worth it? The interior is held up pretty well. Mercedes uses this, it's called MB Tex right here on the edges. All the edges are this fake material that Mercedes manufactures themselves, and it holds up. The middle part are leather inserts, and you know, I've done a good job keeping up with them, but there are a few stress cracks in the real leather parts of it. And yeah, I live in Texas, so it gets hot. It also comes with the rear screen that's electronic gear control on the dash. That still functions. I'm surprised that still functions, actually. It's a common issue. Also, you'll see it in the walk around, but I've repainted the rims. When I got the car, the wheels were curved a little bit on the right side, and I just wanted to resurface them, and the guy I brought it to pretty much just said, like, you can make them any color you want. And he suggested black, and I said no, because I think black on black is a little passe now. So what I did is I got the sample of Lexus's new gunmetal, the gunmetal gray that they're putting on Lexus rims, the new F Sport color. Man, I think that makes the car look so much meaner. What else? The car, it has drop-in K&N filters. A lot of people ask on the M272 engine, which is what this is, the 2.5 liter V6. A lot of people ask, what can I do? Can I put the supercharger on from the other engine and make it, you know, like a C230? And the answer is no. You can go on the forums and find out no. There's pretty much almost no mods to this engine besides the tune that are gonna pay off or be worth it. That supercharger from the other engine, I think it's M271, I don't know. That one doesn't fit on here, there's no room for it. And the C55 engine definitely does not fit because you have to extend the front of your car by 3 inches. Someone's done it if you look it up. And the only place a turbo fits is in the back of the car at the exhaust. And if you're running that much tubing for a turbo, it just looks janky, one, and it's not gonna be that effective, I don't think. So it's unfortunate that there's not a lot of tuning options besides air to fuel mapping on this M272 engine. Drop-in K&Ns are your best bet on this car. I mean, modifying the airbox with pods or anything like that, it's gonna be less effective because you're gonna get heat soak. The way the car is set up, you'll see the engine bay. It has ram air, sort of passive ram air already as part of the system, part of the airbox system, and like these cars are over-engineered for a reason. You really can't mess with them that much to make them better. I mean, a pod will make it louder. Probably actually shooting yourself in the foot there. That's the car. More to come, and I'll keep you updated. Let me know if there's anything I missed, and I'll try and answer it for you. And if there's anything I could do in these videos that you want to see, let me know. I'm all ears, so we'll try and create some more content for you on this new channel, Michael Azari.
You've been dreaming about me?
Look across the room.